If you've spent any period of time on a Call of Duty game over the past 10 years, you know how these guys are feeling. This phenomenon has become so popular that the community has actually created a name for it, and they call it COD Timing. It gets pretty annoying when you're camping a corner for a very extended period of time, and the second you look away, somebody turns the corner and shoots you right in the back. In about a 5-minute Reddit search, I found posts going back all the way to 2015 discussing the same topic. And I bet if you spent a little bit more time looking, you could find a lot more than that. But as I started playing Modern Warfare 2 a little bit more, I felt like it was happening to me every single game. Every single game I would camp a corner, I'd look away, and the second I looked away, someone would come around and shoot me. But that got me curious about why this is going on. I thought maybe I could figure out an answer to this all. So with that, I went on my journey of trying to figure this all out. And going into the search, I had 3 different theories. Theory 1 was that it had something to do with the way the game spawns in players. My idea was that players wouldn't spawn in the field of view of other players, meaning that if an enemy player was looking in a certain direction, the game wouldn't spawn you in front of that player or in the direction that player is looking, which in my head could lead to someone looking away and then having them spawn in the area, turning the corner and killing you as you turned away. But as I looked into this problem a little bit further, it seemed like I was misconceptualizing it all a bit. I wasn't thinking that players were doing this everywhere around the map, including places where players don't really spawn. As I looked into the API of the game, I couldn't find anything that indicated that players aren't spawned in the field of view of other players. In fact, I saw a lot of people complaining about the new spawn system in Modern Warfare 2. And this leads to my second theory. The new game includes a squad spawn system. In past games, players were spawned in certain areas of the field that were controlled by their team. And this led to a very predictable spawning system. You knew when the spawns would rotate and you knew where they would be for the most part of the game, which I think is one of the main reasons that they changed it to a squad spawn system. The squad spawn system spawns you near your teammates. This has led to a ton of spawn killing because if your teammate is near enemies and you're spawned right next to the enemy, you may not be prepared, you may not be looking in the correct direction, and that will lead to a pretty quick death. As I began to look at this, I began to realize that the squad spawn system could have an effect on COD timing. It could be leading to this. And with some research into the deepest and darkest areas of Reddit, I found that that might be the case. So when you're spawned by your teammates, you may be less likely to go to areas that are camped by players. This led me to believe that maybe since you're spawning near your teammates, you'll be more likely to spawn away from players that are camping corners. In a normal game, camping corners and camping spots doesn't happen a ton in the middle of the map. And I think the middle of the map is where people tend to be spawning now because you're spawning near your teammates, where your teammates are, which is the middle of the map. But these answers didn't feel great. They didn't feel like the conclusive solution that I was looking for. So that leaves me with theory 3 and what I think is the conclusive answer to all of this. Confirmation bias. Now it's boring, I know, but bear with me. So confirmation bias is defined as the tendency to interpret new evidence as confirmation of one's existing beliefs or theories. Sorry to disappoint, but that sounds like exactly what's going on with everyone that's complaining about COD timing. For one, you don't remember the times that you're camping a corner and someone turns and you shoot them. Because that's supposed to happen. That's not an outlier. That's not obvious to you. That's not a break in the system, a break in the routine. And because of that, it won't be as memorable. But the times that you camp a corner for 5 minutes and the second you look away, someone shoots you in the back of the head, you'll remember that because you get angry, you get really pissed off like all these guys. And on the other hand, you don't recognize when you turn a corner and you see somebody running away and you shoot them in the back, there's no reverse kill cam to see if they had been camping the same corner. So you don't know if it's happening to them too. But the only times that stick out to you are the times where you wasted your valuable time staring at a corner only to be shot in the back of the head the second you turn away. And as unsatisfying as that is, I think that's the reason why this is all happening. There's nothing in the code of the game. There's nothing in the API that's out to get you. It's just your head thinking too much about the bad circumstances and not enough about the good. If you guys like watching my journey trying to figure this all out, you might also like this other video where I tried to figure out why ex-British colonies are terrible at soccer.